Good morning, traders, and this is your Aussie, your South African top 40 daily review. So we've ended up with a hanging man on the daily, and one thing that is concerning me is the awesome oscillator is creating a series of lower highs. Okay, so there was the first high, lower high, and we're busy with another lower high while prices have been making higher highs. Okay, whenever you've got that kind of diversions, you need to start worrying about keeping long-term positions, and you need to start looking at lower time frames for your trades. So this is not looking very positive for continuation to the upside. Now, before we get on with that, let's just have a quick look at what's going on. So the US markets were fairly flat yesterday. The futures market is up this morning because there's some noise around trade wars and trade talks. And the Rand 14.18, so that's recovered quite a bit as well. And 10 cents at the moment is 2.3% up. Okay, so a little bit of a mixed bag between the Rand and 10 cent, but we're just going to trade, more than likely trade the half hour again. Okay, so 4 hour, you can see we hit a level here, and the frustrating part at the moment on this market is we're not tagging levels and retracing to levels and moving off the levels. We're sort of just moving off arbitrary areas. So that was basically, we didn't even get to the bottom of the gap here, which is what I would have expected at least. So in other words, it's not adhering to any structure at the moment. So it's almost like there are ambushes that are coming in a couple of points above the structure, and that's how they're trading it at the moment and manipulating, or both use manipulating to get upset, but driving the market in the direction they want. I'm just going to go straight on to lower time frames because this kind of environment is still okay. So you can see, looking at the hour, you can see there was my first level. My second level would have been right over there, and then gap close. So we didn't even tag the first level. So first level is a swing low here. Okay. If you're not familiar with the way gaps close, then just watch my gap close video and you'll see. But this is normally the first level line of defense for gaps, and you normally find buyers stepping in here, but you can see the buyer stepped in slightly higher and then drove the markets up and then sideways. Okay, if you did get in on this trade yesterday, there's no real reason to get out of it because I think you're going to get a gap up today. The question is whether it's going to gap and run or if it's just going to gap and fall. So it may just be sort of an exhaustion gap to the upside. If we just drill down to the half hour and we take the closing range strategy, you can see I'll put a level in here. There's my range target right there, and then the 261 extension was right here at the next level, and this was, to me, would have been the most logical place to be, but obviously it was wrong and we rallied off there. So again, the closing range strategy played out. We've got at least the range height before rallying back up into the 50% of the range. Okay, so for today, pretty much the same drill, but I think you're going to get a gap up from the get-go, which basically is similar to what happened over here. You can see there was my last hour of trading, and we gapped up onto the targets and then rallied a bit. So if you look at this, our target is pretty much the previous high. Okay, so previous high of the week is what our range target is, and that's, by the looks of things, what we're going to be tagging. Okay, and it may just sort of form as inverse head and shoulders before breaking through that level, but this level of 51,640 is obviously a key area. This here worries me. Okay, whenever you see the awesome oscillator flat like this, on any time frame, it's worse on a lower time frame, that just shows you no direction, zero direction, no commitment to the trade, and just waiting to see what's going to happen with international markets. Okay, so that's kind of my view at the moment. I would still say, we're still looking for longs, but I think your longs need to come off lower time frames, and you need to take profit often, because I think we're in an area where it's touch and go. It could either break through, form some structure, and then continue, or find some resistance and start falling. So we're in an area where I'd be very cautious in holding on to any trades right now. Okay, so my advice to you is use a 15-minute if you've got time for that. Otherwise, just stay out of it. Look at one of the other markets. Looks like a Dow's got some structure on it. You can watch that video. The Dax has got similar kind of structure as what I'm seeing here. So it can go either way. And you're going to have to trade it on shorter time frames. Okay. So, and you're looking, I mean, I'm on the 12-minute. Look at the mess here. There's no direction. Okay. So anyway, so that's my view on this today. So I suspect we're going to get a gap up. The question is whether we're going to get above the current high of the week. Okay. If we can get above it, then fantastic. But as I say, the awesome oscillator here and the other oscillators are starting to group in the middle. And I think, let's just have a look at the ichimoku. So 1 hour, you can see flat. I don't want the 3 hour, I want the 4 hour. 4 hour, we have flat Kijans and Deaconson is pointing up. That's not a good sign. And the daily is flat, and we're quite far from it. So, anticipating a pullback of sorts has some merit, but we have had a bullish crossover here as well on the half hour, although Chiku span is below price. That's a negative aspect of it. But anyway, I think for me, it's going to be trading the closing range strategy. So in other words, a break. Let's just go back to what we know. Yeah. Okay, so what you're looking for is that last hour of trading. Look for a break to the upside or the downside, and that'll indicate your trade. And just trade the height of the range for your first trade, then see what happens with structure, and then you can continue in the direction or look for the opposite direction. Okay, but I think that's kind of what I'm looking for at the moment. And in the bigger scheme of things, we have a bigger range forming over there. So this is in a much bigger range at the moment. That's what we need to worry about. Okay. Anyway, so that's my trade for today. Looking for a break of the closing range. That's the only strategy I'll be trading on this again today. If we do break the upside, it's long. We break the downside, it's short. And I'm looking for just the height of the range. That's my target. Okay. And yeah, that's me for today. Anyway, hope that helps, and stay safe, keep your stops tight, and I'll catch you later. Cheers for now.